Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We got a Dear John letter coming up later in the program, so I'm always excited for those. And for those of you who maybe don't get a chance to listen to the Dear John letters, good news, we always post them on our Facebook page, so you can go on there and read them, and it's already there. So you can go there early, squirrely in the morning is when I post that. So you can go on there and read it, and we encourage you to chime in with your advice, too. It's not just our advice. You have the opportunity to give advice, too. And if you'd like to have some advice for something that maybe you're pondering in your life, reach out to us. We'll gladly give you advice. I never said it'd be good advice, but we'll give you advice.
It's advice.
There you go. And you can do that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Here's your quote for the day from Joe Frazier. Life doesn't run away from nobody. Life runs at people. There you go. Joe Frazier, boxer. Good quote. Coming up in a bit.
Not proper English, but
it's still good.
it's a quote.
We're going to have some special things to talk about coming up in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, June the 8th. Today is Upsy Daisies Day.
Okay.
Upsy Daisies. It's also World Oceans Day.
Okay.
How many oceans are there in the world? Do you know?
I don't know.
7.
Ah,
You seriously didn't know that?
I don't know.
Sailed the 7 seas? Do you know what they're
Maybe
called?
they only sailed 7 of the seas.
Okay. Do you know what the 7 oceans are?
No.
Do we want to try to go through them?
I know Pacific and Atlantic.
You don't want to be too specific about it? And it's also National Caribbean American HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. So I don't want to forget that. That's a long title. Of all of those, the one, I don't know what Upsy Daisy Day is all about. Is that like when you make a mistake? Whoopsie daisy.
I have no idea.
So maybe I made a mistake and there's really 12 oceans. No, there's still just 7. Coming up in a bit, we've got a lot of fun stuff to share. So stick around. It's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
I love watching TV shows and movies, but I hated seeing my monthly bill get higher and higher. All that money every month just to watch TV. Well, not anymore. We cut our cable. We were paying $185 a month for channels we didn't even watch. Now we pay for just the internet, and we save about $150 a month. And we still get to watch what we want, when we want, with no monthly fee. Learn how you can do this too at channelsurfertv.com. Watch the video there to learn how to watch movies and TV with no monthly fee. Do it today and save 50% at channelsurfertv.com.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Could talking to yourself be the secret to finding your missing car keys? No, you're not crazy. New research suggests that repeatedly muttering the name of the object you're looking for, keys, 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 somehow can actually help you find it faster. This sounds
I talk
so
to myself
made up.
all the time.
Does that sound made up to you?
I don't know.
Keys.
But I do talk to myself.
I know
do you
you
talk
do.
to yourself?
Well, yeah, but I get in arguments once in a while. I don't like that. That's not good. Anyway, they say it'll help you find it faster. So if you lose your wallet, say, okay, wallet. Or your, cell phone, whatever. Keys, whatever. Anyway, I think you probably understand. They have all this stuff spelled out, thinking that we're all like, 2-year-olds and are not going to understand it. So have no fear. Research from the University of Wisconsin-Madison found that giving yourself a brain power boost in order to find lost items could be as simple as just talking to yourself out loud. So saying the item that you're looking for verbally. The idea behind speaking the name of the item out loud is that it activates your visual properties in your brain to help you find things based on what you know about how they look. So it
Okay.
makes it easier for you to find the keys. Have you ever been looking for something and it's literally like right in front of you and you didn't
yeah.
see it? You know what's really dumb? I was looking for my glasses once.
They're
and I was
always on
wearing
top
them.
of your head.
No, I
Not
was wearing
just
them on my
once.
face.
Oh.
Okay. I'm talking about the time they were on my face.
Oh.
Because I use glasses while I'm on the computer, and I had my computer. I was set up in a little remote office, and I got done, and I was looking for my glasses because I have a little case I put them in so they don't get scratched. I'm like, where in the world did I put those? And I'm looking all over, and Ryan from that office walked by. He's like, what you looking for? I said, my glasses. And he started laughing. He goes, are you serious? I was like, why? He goes, you're wearing them. I was like, oh, here they are. Never mind, Ryan. I found them. Now I help you wear. Anyway.
I was talking to you one time on the phone while I was looking for my phone.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my phone. I'm like, look in your hand. You're talking on it. All right. Anyway, just say it out loud. That's going to help. And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your Brain on Drugs. Police in Washington State arrested 2 Papa John's employees Friday for allegedly selling cocaine out of the restaurant.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's not good. A King County Sheriff's Office spokesperson said they'd order pizza and go out and wait in the parking lot. The employees would bring the pizza out in a box, would also be some cocaine. Apparently the code phrase was to say, give it extra olives. When ordering, authorities seized cocaine, ecstasy, marijuana, Oxycontin, LSD, meth, and $28,000 in cash.
What if somebody really wanted extra olives
I know,
and they showed
that
up with cocaine?
Was a movie in the 1980s where they wanted extra anchovies.
Extra anchovies.
And then somebody really ordered it, and it wasn't drugs, it was a gigolo. What was that movie called? I don't remember what it was, but it was a guy.
Was it Mystic Pizza?
I don't know. There's a dude that was going out, and he was like a little male gigolo.
Yeah,
so.
It was McDreamy from
the
Grey's Anatomy.
So anyway, that was like a movie from back in the 80s. And these guys thought, hey, what a great idea. Let's do that. Like no one's going to catch on. All right, coming up, we're going to get our moment of duh. That is on the way.
John and Heidi.
All right, we had our Brain on Drugs at Papa John's. So in all fairness, moment of duh goes to Subway. They held an essay contest for children, offering athletic equipment as a grand prize for their school. That's really a cool thing. Yeah. It's a good idea. The academic materials were not part of the winnings, though. It says probably a good thing because academic materials should maybe be sent to whoever put this together. The advertisement had 2 spelling errors. One misspelled the word basket, and even more disturbing, they misspelled the word United in United States.
Oh, wow.
So Subway, you get the moment of duh. You know what? I can understand how easy it is to make mistakes because I make them like every 3 seconds.
If you're like spelling it on your cell phone, I could see it. But if you're doing it on a computer,
somebody's along the line sort of double check
proofreading.
that. If you're looking for a good speller, talk to 6th grader Anna Vignier. She outspelled 291 spellers from across the country to become this year's Scripps Spelling Bee champ last week.
Nice segue, by the way.
Thank you. See, you're
a professional.
I was going to get to that in the scoop of the day, but I just pulled it right up there and put it all together. So she doesn't get the moment of duh, but Subway does.
John and Heidi.
If you promised yourself you'd lose weight before you went to the beach, that's still within reach. Get some help from a cool pink drink. Try it free at pinkdrinkfree.com. This pink drink tastes great and can help you lose weight. 8 out of 10 Americans are overweight. If you're tired of being one of them, we'd love to help. People around the country are experiencing amazing results with this pink drink, and you can try it before you buy it at pinkdrinkfree.com. That's pinkdrinkfree.com.
Now your scoop of the day. Americans made 433 million fewer trips to the restaurants at lunchtime last year, resulting in about $3.2 billion in lost business for restaurants. Huh. So that's kind of interesting. Speaking of food, Ozzy Osbourne apparently has a big fascination with some cereal that he grew up on in Britain. It's called Sugar Puffs. Do they have those here? Sugar Puffs? They apparently don't, because every month he has a case of Sugar Puffs.
We talked about this before, he has them sent to him.
Yeah, a whole case of them shipped to his home in L.A. Did we really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Long time ago, but yeah.
Wow. According to a recent survey, bullies are taking full advantage of the latest technology. 16% of young people say they have received a bullying message through their mobile phone or computer. So, again, a recent survey says a lot of them, 16%, are getting that. Do you get any bullying messages on your phone? All of the ones I get are from you, so I'm just wondering if anybody gives you any. No? No, everybody's nice to you? You don't really send me bullying messages. Once in a while, you'll send me a message that's a little upset. It's usually when I did something really stupid.
Yeah. Usually when you have it coming.
Oh, yeah, I have it coming a lot. According to a study, guppies experience menopause just like humans and other animals.
Really?
So now they know that guppies do, too.
Do they get the night sweats?
I don't know what they do. If you see a guppy sitting in the corner of the fish tank eating ice cream, you know what's going on. Australian doctors are now charging patients a fee of up to $43 for just being 10 minutes late for an appointment. You know, I can understand that.
I can see that because it throws off the whole rest of the day for other patients.
Here's what they should do, though. Fair is fair. If I'm 10 minutes late and I get a $43 charge, if you're 10 minutes late, I get $43 off my bill.
Right.
I would be super duper cool with that, and they should do that everywhere. But it should be both ways, because I've gone and I've waited for a long time, and I don't go to the doctor very often. So other people have waited way longer than I have, I'm sure. I don't, and I'm like, whatever it is, I'll just deal with it. Australia is also in the news for this. They're considering a ban on anyone coming to their country who is a convicted pedophile. So they're saying, hey, if you have been convicted of that, you are no longer welcome in our country. That's an interesting concept.
What if you're convicted while you're in the country? They kick you out?
Probably. I don't know. The thing that's interesting about that is, for those of you who don't know this, Australia at one point was literally just like a giant prison colony.
Yeah.
That's where they would send the, quote, bad guys. They'd send them there.
I'd like to go to Australia someday.
I think it would be really cool. And the good news is, neither one of us are pedophiles, so we're still welcome
there. We are still welcome there.
There you go. Chalk that up to one thing I'm doing good in life. Got all these other things I'm messing up, and hey, at least I got this going for me. I can go to Australia. According to a survey, classmates who have made it big are more likely to attend college reunions than those who haven't.
Of course. Same thing with high school.
Did you have to do a survey for that one?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even. It's like this guy, somebody that's doing really well in life, of course you're going to go. I mean, it's finally their chance to show up and say, hey, look, remember you guys all hated me in school?
Yeah.
Look at me now.
My grandpa went to his high school reunion with my grandmother, and they had a classmate that made it big, and he wanted everybody to know. Yeah. And they had to go around and stand up and tell each other what they've been up to, and this wealthy guy stood up and had to mention that he flew to the reunion in his Cessna.
Oh, nice.
And my grandpa, when it was his turn, he stood up, and my grandmother was so embarrassed.
I can only imagine.
And he said what he'd been doing. He said, and we drove here tonight in our Granada. And my grandmother was so embarrassed.
Oh, your grandpa made me laugh all the time. He's not even with us anymore. He's still making me laugh.
He's awesome.
All right. One last thing. Delaware-sized iceberg. So an iceberg the size of Delaware just is right now on the verge of splitting off from the Arctic shelf. So they're saying that's about ready to plop into the ocean. Delaware size. That's pretty good size. Pretty big. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
John and Heidi.
How long's it been since you've been on vacation?
Way too long.
Well, we're going to Punta Cana this November for a cool event called 80s in the Sand.
I'm so looking forward to just being able to relax during the day. All day, every day for 7 full days. And, as a bonus, get to hear some awesome music at night.
You can also meet some 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and many more.
Get all the details at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person.
That website again is 80sinthesand.com.
And it's time right now for us to dole out some advice. People want to know what we have to say. It's a little segment we like to call Dear John Letters.
Dear John.
And, we could call it Dear John and Heidi Letters, but we don't have a song for that.
We don't have a song for that.
It is Dear John Letters. And if you'd like to submit one, we'll tell you how to do that in a bit. First, maybe listen to what we do here, because you might not want one. We'll tell you how to do it at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. So here's the first and the only one. I guess we just do one a week. Dear John, my husband and I had a weird argument last weekend, and it reminded me of you and Heidi. Well, that's always good. I thought it would be fun to send you a letter for your advice. On Sunday, we went to church, and our oldest son was wearing shorts. I asked him to change into something more appropriate, and it turned into a long debate. Sadly, with my husband taking my son's side. After a few minutes, my son changed, and then when we got to church, he pointed out the numerous other people wearing shorts as a way to suggest that he was right about it. All the way home, we talked about whether or not it was okay to wear shorts to church these days. I was outnumbered for sure and decided to see what you had to say about this. Signed, Old Prude Mama. I don't think that you're necessarily an old prude mama. First of all, let me say this. I think a lot of that depends on the church, really.
Yeah,
Because-
well, yeah, for sure. Churches are all a little different.
There are some churches where everything it seems to be a lot more formal, and things are a little more structured. And I've been to a wide variety of churches. I've been to churches where it's completely different than that, where nothing is structured. But it's it depends on the church. So I don't want to say that just because other people were doing it that it's okay. I don't want to suggest
No,
that.
of course not.
But if that's what the environment is at that church, if ever, I don't want to say if everybody's doing it, but if other people are dressed that way, if that's kind of what the dress code feels like. But again, at the end of the day, he lives in your household, Mama. And one of the things I would do is I would talk to Papa about being on the same page, because it's really hard to teach your kids one way or the other if you guys don't agree. Wouldn't you say that?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So what I always do is I ask Heidi, what do you think of that? And whatever she says, I go, that's what I was thinking too. That right there. I agree with her. Listen to your mother, kids. Sometimes I even listen to what she says. Not always, but usually. But
I think the most important thing here is that he's willingly going to church.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
And at least he's in the building. I don't think I would worry so much about what he's wearing as long as he's going.
And if you've got a child that's willing to go and is engaged, because apparently he was engaged enough to know that other kids were wearing shorts to church too. Hey, if they're doing it, I can do it. So he's paying some sort of attention, not just going in and taking a nap all the way through it. But again, really, I think a lot of it comes down to, the church and to the person, because there are people who would absolutely not ever go to church dressed like that, and there's other people who, again, they're going, why? You know what? I'm worshiping my God. This is the way I dress.
Right.
I'm cool with that. I'll tell you a fun story that we learned at church one time. I thought this was a really neat thing. There was a lady that was speaking, and she had been a prostitute in the past, and now she's like a minister. She goes out and speaks, and it was just a fascinating story, because she was the way she became a Christian and started, her whole entire life changed is when her drug dealer went to jail and became a Christian. When he got out of jail, all of his friends, he said, I can't hang out with you anymore, or we need to change our ways. So this really rough, brand new group of Christians were looking for a church, and they went, this is one of my favorite stories, they went to a church that was up the street, and there was a prayer meeting that night, and it was a group of little old ladies and little old men, and these guys come walking in with like leather jackets and spiked collars and mohawks, and this group had just been praying for younger people in their church. And the lady said it was later they found out that after we left that night, one of the little old ladies said, maybe we should have been more specific. But, that's what they had come through the door. And they said it was really neat to see, these people who would put on their best dress to come to church. And there's other guys that are new Christians that would show up and are going, hey, we're just glad you're here. Mm-hmm. So I don't know that anybody necessarily, and if there's somebody that's going to judge them because they're not dressed right, think about that. Is that the right way to treat somebody? Not really. So at the end of the day, just be glad he was there. And I would say Mama and Papa should get on the same page on that. And I think that's going to make sure that you're not going to have arguments like that in the future. What do you think, Heidi?
Agreed. You got to pick your battles. I mean, find the ones that are most important, that are worth arguing over, and those are the ones you go after. Wearing shorts to church, to me, doesn't seem like such a big one.
And again, a lot of that depends on the church. If you walk in and everybody else is wearing their finest suit, and you walk in wearing shorts and flip-flops, maybe you're going to feel kind of weird.
You know what, though? No matter what, he's going to church. And if he's the one that has to feel awkward, then he's the one that feels awkward. It has nothing to do with you.
If you have a Dear John letter that you'd like answered next week, you can submit that to us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. You can also chime in on this one today there as well. I'd love to hear your advice.
John and Heidi.
Would you like custom t-shirts for an event or sports team? We understand that usually the budget's not unlimited. We have full-color custom printed t-shirts for just $7 each. That's one of the best prices you'll find anywhere. No minimum orders, so you can print just one or print 1,000. The price is just $7 per shirt with a minimal setup fee per design. Make the memories of your next event last forever, or help your team look amazing with a little help from CustomShirtInc.com. That's CustomShirtInc.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A new study has determined that the middle-aged and older Americans have a 90% higher risk of having high blood pressure. That's not a fun fact. It's kind of a scary fact. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
John Adams was the first president to display fireworks at the White House. Oh. He was also the first president to live there, so that's probably why. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
From all of the oxygen that a brain breathes in, or a human breathes in, let me say that again. Of all the oxygen that comes through when you breathe in, 20% of it goes to your brain. Huh. I think I need a little more. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John? What is up with you today?
I'm reading.
You having a stroke? You
no,
all right?
I don't know. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Even though Dr. Seuss wrote successful children's books, many of them, he had no children of his own. Oh. And our final, maybe not quite, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The 1912 Olympics were the last time gold medals were made entirely out of gold.
Now that would explain why they're chipping away.
Now they're gold foil over the top of chocolate. No, I don't think that's what they are. A couple of fun facts for you on a Thursday, brought to you by pinkdrinkfree.com. Not just another diet, it's a way of life. pinkdrinkfree.com.
John and Heidi.
If you promised yourself you'd lose weight before you went to the beach, that's still within reach. Get some help from a cool pink drink. Try it free at pinkdrinkfree.com. This pink drink tastes great and can help you lose weight. 8 out of 10 Americans are overweight. If you're tired of being one of them, we'd love to help. People around the country are experiencing amazing results with this pink drink, and you can try it before you buy it at pinkdrinkfree.com. That's pinkdrinkfree.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Vitamin D is pretty darn important. And we both found out that we were kind of low in vitamin D. We need more sunshine, Heidi.
Yeah.
And more vitamin D.
I agree. We do need more. We should go on vacation.
Oh, we should. Let's go right now. Let's just leave. I'm taking off now. Okay, I guess I just realized all I can afford is this room, so I can't go anywhere. It says an extra dose of vitamin D found in like vitamin D milk and stuff like that relieves chronic back pain for most sufferers. An extensive review of current research reveals that those with chronic back pain almost always have inadequate levels of vitamin D. Dr. Stuart LaViette, and I'm sure I got that wrong, editor of Pain Treatment Topics, who headed the review, said when sufficient vitamin D supplementation was provided, their pain either vanished or was at least helped to a significant extent. That's really cool. That's good to know. So if you have back pain, it could feel better by just having enough vitamin D. Investigators recommended that most children and adults get at least 1,000 IUs daily. How much is that?
I have
is
no
that like
idea.
a truckload? Sounds like a lot. I have no idea. Beep, beep, beep. That's my vitamin D showing up here. Back pain sufferers should get 2,000, so twice as much if you have back pain. Higher than the government recommendation, by the way, which is 600 IUs, so however much that is. And that's not the only thing they found. Also, it says people with loads of vitamin D in their bloodstream tend to live longer. So if you have a lot of vitamin D, not only does your back feel better, but it says you live longer. Anything that makes you live longer is usually good, right?
It usually is.
Usually. You think so. It says the vitamin made naturally by exposure to sunshine or found in dairy products and fatty fish like salmon help the body absorb calcium for bone health and offer protection from cancer, peripheral artery disease, and tuberculosis. Australian researchers say that the study provides the first real proof that vitamin D affects your life expectancy. So there you go. It's like a vitamin D. So like if we were Sesame Street, today's program would have to be brought to you by vitamin D.
It would.
They just had letters though, right?
Right.
Brought to you by E and G. There you go. Coming up. I have no idea what that means. We have something else to talk about on the way.
John and Heidi.
I love watching TV shows and movies, but I hated seeing my monthly bill get higher and higher. All that money every month just to watch TV. Well, not anymore. We cut our cable. We were paying $185 a month for channels we didn't even watch. Now we pay for just the internet, and we save about $150 a month. And we still get to watch what we want, when we want, with no monthly fee. Learn how you can do this too at channelsurfertv.com. Watch the video there to learn how to watch movies and TV with no monthly fee. Do it today and save 50% at channelsurfertv.com.
John and Heidi.
Have you ever done something that was just stupid and look back, you go, man, why did I do that? That was
Yes.
just stupid. I know we've probably all done that. But this guy, Paul McCurth of London, was attending a charity auction, and he was playing with a large foam number one. a rubber hand.
I already know where this is going.
And he was goofing around with his friends, had this giant foam finger, like the number one thing, and he was pointing at friends. And what he didn't realize,
He was bidding.
his hand movements were being taken as bids. He ended up buying himself $30,000 for a trip, a $30,000 diving trip to go 3 miles down to see the Titanic. He had to mortgage his house to pay for it. Fortunately, he says he is looking forward to the trip. On a side note, here's the thing that's just the funniest. Paul is a financial advisor.
Oh my gosh.
If you have money with Paul, take it all right now before he loses it when he's on the Titanic. No, I don't think
That would be a cool trip.
That would be a
though.
cool trip, but $30,000? And
Yeah.
the good
Well,
news
I
is...
wonder if it includes his hotel and his airfare and the trip down and
What?
your meals and all that, that would be a great trip.
that still sounds really,
I don't think so.
really expensive to me.
How much would it cost to go 3 miles down to the
I don't know.
Titanic?
I'm sorry,
That's-
I'll give you $50. But
I think that's very reasonable.
I know a guy that'll
Paul,
tie...
if you're looking for somebody to go with you, give me
Yeah.
a call.
I know a guy that'll tie an anchor to your foot and throw you overboard for less than that. I mean, you'll get 3 miles down. You'll keep going, too. Anyway, coming up, we've got more good news on the way.
John and Heidi.
Before we get to the good news, I guess I got all this to get to here. Mom and dad, you know you're important, but mothers and fathers can have a profound effect on civil society by helping to mold the next generation into healthy, well-adjusted adults. It says here, moms, your involvement has been shown to influence a broad range of outcomes for adolescents. For example, teens whose parents are present when they wake up and come home from school and go to bed are less likely to experience emotional distress. Well, good news for our kids.
That is,
Yeah.
we're around all the time.
Yeah, and
they
those
cannot get
parents
rid of us.
who are more involved in the lives tend to have higher levels of self-esteem and self-control.
See, I'm constantly sticking my nose into my kids' lives.
Teens with greater parental involvement in their schooling are more likely to graduate from high school and achieve higher levels of education. Finally, mothers' investment in and communication with their children has been shown to have a significant impact regarding risky behaviors, from sexual behavior to substance abuse. So they're saying moms, and I'm sure dads too, right? But this is just saying moms in all of these.
You know, I agree with
Be
all of
involved.
that. Our kids,
Yeah, they're good
so
kids.
far, both of them
Good kids.
have avoided all of those kinds of things. So,
I think we're doing hey, high five.
yeah.
There you go.
Right?
Rock on.
We should write a book.
You are a long ways away from me. I
We've
didn't realize
said that.
till I
We've said
tried to-
that many times. We should write a book, parenting book.
Parenting made easy. No, I don't think we are probably
I think we
qualified.
should, and then write our advice, and then let the kids write their experiences
Sure.
of that particular topic underneath it, and see
All of
how
you-
they differ.
All of you publishers out there who are just clamoring for a great book, you reach out to us.
I think that would actually be really funny.
That'd be scary. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
How long's it been since you've been on vacation?
Way too long.
Well, we're going to Punta Cana this November for a cool event called 80s in the Sand.
I'm so looking forward to just being able to relax during the day, all day, every day for 7 full days, and as a bonus, get to hear some awesome music at night.
You can also meet some 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and many more.
Get all the details at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person.
That website again is 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
Here's something I've been looking forward to talking to you about. Our dog, Mandy, was born on 07/07/07. So this year, she will turn, next month, she'll turn 10.
Yes.
So that's in human years. In dog years, how old will she be?
70.
Yeah, that's what most people would say. So is the myth that a dog year is equivalent to 7 human years, is that just a myth? It says, wait a minute, a dog equivalent? No, it'd be 1 dog year or 7 dog years for 1 human, whatever
Right.
it is. Dr. Jeffrey Weber says that's only accurate for part of a pet's life. It says in the middle of their life, that's accurate. But in the first year of a pet's life, it's equal to about 15 years.
Whoa.
The second year is equal to about 10 years. Every year thereafter is about 4, and then 4 to 8 human years, depending on the breed and the size of the dog. So they're saying that it's like a gradual scale. So saying when your pet is only a year old, that first year of their life is way more than the first year of a child's life. Anyway, so if you want to know all about it, I have this whole
Our
thing.
dog is ancient.
Yeah, our dog's 147, I think. I'm not sure. If you would like to read all about this, I'm going to share this on our Facebook page because I got a feeling that's going to start a fight or two. So I don't know if I agree with it.
And I'm not interested in doing the math to find
Yeah,
out
me neither.
exactly. That just sounds way too complicated.
And we already bought 70 candles
That's
for
right.
birthday
It's gotta-
cakes.
you know.
We invited everybody over for the party. Got the big banner. Happy 70th. I mean, we don't want to blow all of that now, do we? Honestly, we should do a big birthday party for our dog.
We should.
She would think that is
have
the
a
weirdest
great
thing ever.
neighborhood party for
All of our
Mandy.
neighbors do like the dogs. We've got 2 dogs. One that hides when people come over. That's Miley. She's not having a birthday. But Mandy, she's the one she's the welcoming committee. They all know her.
Taylor turned 16. You know how upset she would be if we skip her
That would
16th
be-
birthday and have a huge birthday party for Mandy.
We should do that. I'm just kidding. Taylor, I love you. Hey, we've got your good news coming up in a bit. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by The John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying The John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with some good news. And Heidi, guess what? I've got some good news.
All right.
The global plastic bag pollution crisis could be solved by a simple waxworm. Yeah. Researchers have described this tiny caterpillars.
You've been having issues
I gotta
today.
go take a nap. Tiny caterpillars' ability to break down even the toughest plastics as extremely exciting. Said the discovery could be engineered into an environmentally friendly solution for industrial scale. Around 1 trillion plastic bags are used around the world every year and are notoriously hard to break down. This waxworm, commonly harvested as fishing bait, can eat its way through plastic bags more than 14,000 times faster than any other organism. So that's pretty good. Imagine letting these little guys loose in a garbage dump instead of finding places to bury all the trash bags. So they're saying this little discovery, that this little worm can eat through a plastic bag, could lead to like a huge, huge leap forward in making sure that plastic is disposed
That's
of.
fantastic.
Wouldn't it be better to just recycle it? You'd think.
Well, a lot of people don't, though.
Well, they're going to put these little worms to work. Now, here's my concern, is they're saying, if we can make this industrial size, does that mean they want to make these worms bigger? They want to give them shots of steroids and make these
I think
worms?
they want to dump off millions and millions of them in every landfill.
Okay, because I don't want you making them really big worms. Like you come around the corner and there's like a Mack
All of a
truck
sudden,
sized
we're
worm.
living in the middle of what's that movie?
I don't remember
that
what it
Troy
was.
watches.
The one with the worms that
landworms.
comes out of the ground. I can't think of what
Yeah.
it's called. There's a bunch
Michael
of
Keaton was in it.
there's a bunch of people that know what we're talking about.
Not Michael Keaton. What was his name?
I don't know.
It
We're
was
way
Keaton,
off.
Mr. Keaton from Family Ties. He was in that movie.
Yeah, he was.
What
Michael
is it
Keaton.
called? It's not Tron. Is
No,
it Tron?
it's Tremors.
Tremors.
Is that what it was?
Yes, Tremors.
Hey, I got a nerd point. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know where it came from. I'd like to just thank my mother and my father and my son. Everybody
Mostly
else.
my son.
Mainly my son. How ashamed would he be if he knew that we were struggling to think of that? If you'd like to read the story, though, about the apparently Tremors in the works, it doesn't say they're going to make them huge. I'm concerned when they say.
That'll be a very bad idea.
Yeah. If you'd like to read it, it's on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
Time now for the bonus break on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We got a special guest joining us today, Donna Brown from Donna Brown Designs, and she's also a co-author of a book called Women Who Ignite, and she got to write a chapter in that book. First, let's say hello to Donna. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fabulous. How are you?
Fabulous as well. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. And I'm on your website right now, donnabrowndesigns.com, and it says on here that you do, there's a lot of stuff that you do, but you're a coach. So what kind of coaching do you do?
I'm a life coach, and I specialize in mindset. The power of positive thinking and the law of attraction are basically what I focus on to help the women I work with live the life that they desire and deserve.
That's cool. And I see it says transforming lives one soul at a time. Boy, that sounds awesome.
It is awesome. love to help women to really uncover what is there that they may not have known was there.
That's really cool. Now, you got to write a chapter in the book, Women Who Ignite. How did that whole project come about?
Well, I started working with a coach 2.5 years ago. I took a leap and said yes. And from that, my life just started to snowball in a great way. And I realized that I wanted to help others the way that coaching helped me. So I went through a coaching certification program. And as a result of that, I was asked to write the chapter in the book. And so that happened simultaneously last year.
Very cool. Now, what is the title of your chapter?
My chapter is called Finding Fabulous at 52.
Nice. And this is based on, I'm assuming, on something that you have gone through. Is that correct?
Absolutely. It's my journey over the years of how I uncovered what was standing in my way of my living my fabulous life.
Very cool. And sometimes it's kind of like we get in our own way, don't we?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we don't even know that we're doing it.
And the book, for folks who would like to read the book, how many other chapters are in there? In addition to yours, are there quite a few others as well?
Absolutely. There are 20 women who each share their story, so 19 other women.
Very cool. And again, the book is called Women Who Ignite, for people that are looking for that. And again, Donna Brown, who we're visiting with right now, was the author of one of the chapters. So in your chapter, the chapter that you get to write, what kind of things are people going to learn about you, and what kind of things are they going to take away from that chapter?
Well, what they'll learn about me is that, I let fear and I let a belief that I had about myself get in the way and stop me from really moving forward. And I was stuck for a very long time. And it wasn't until I realized that what my obstacle was and released it. I actually burned it in a fire. I wrote it on a piece of paper and burned it and said goodbye to it. And the next day, suddenly my life just opened up and things started showing up. And I don't want to give too much away because I would love for people to read it. But as a result of that and letting go of my obstacle, I was able to step into a fabulous life. And as soon as I changed my thinking about myself, amazing things just showed up for me.
Very nice.
Things that I never dreamed of. I'm a crystal healer. I'm a Reiki master. I'm a speaker now, sharing my story. I'm a mindset coach, and I never would have dreamed I would have had any of those titles in my life, but they appeared and showed up because I was willing and ready to receive them.
Now, before you made this leap, before you had the opportunity to do all of these amazing things, these fabulous things that you're doing now, what was your previous life like? What were you doing before that you were saying, hey, I need to get away from this? What was it that you did before?
Not that I needed to get away from it, but I was a stay-at-home mom, and I loved being a mom, and I loved being home with my children and being there for all those moments in their life, but I knew that there was something more in my life, and I just didn't know what that was or what it looked like. And so it took a lot of self-discovery and hard work, really, reflecting on how I looked at life and how I looked at myself, and realized that I really was destined for more. And I know that my passion is really helping women uncover who they are and how to get them to where they can be so they can have a fabulous life too.
That's a great idea. And what a cool thing that you get to do that now. And I can just tell by visiting with you that you're super happy with what you're doing, and being a stay-at-home mom would be a fulfilling thing as well. So maybe when I was saying get away from it, maybe that's the wrong way to put it, but when it was time for you to take that next step, instead of taking a step, you took a leap and tried something completely different, something completely new. That had to be kind of scary to do that.
Well, it absolutely was scary. And when I say take a leap, that began, I took a physical leap off a cliff. I was on vacation with my family, and they were cliff jumping. And I said, nope, I'll be the photographer. And I realized at that moment, well, two hours later at that moment, that if I did not at least attempt to stand on the edge of that cliff, that I would walk away and regret it. And I already had regrets in my life and didn't want to have another one. And so I said yes to that leap, and that leap led me to another leap and to another leap and to another leap.
And I'm looking on your website. There's a photo of a person on a giant rock by some water. Is that the cliff that you leaped off of?
That is.
Holy cow, that's got to be kind of scary.
Well, it was terrifying, especially when I was there and it was low tide, and I saw the enormous boulders sticking out of the water. So that were covered during when I took the leap, and so I realized, oh my gosh, I could have gotten hurt, but it was such a magical feeling when I actually made that leap. I came out of the water with my fists in the air and yelled, I did it.
It's that first step sometimes that is the toughest when you're trying to do something different, because you've got a lot of people on the sidelines telling you that that's a bad idea. You've got a lot of people on the sidelines telling you that, maybe you're not going to succeed. And it's really easy to start believing all of those people and saying, I'm going to just take the safe path. So when it's time, whether you're starting a business or if you're branching out and doing something new, anytime you're doing something new, it's a lot easier to just not do it, to take the safe path. So the people who do that, entrepreneurs who go out and start a business, people who blaze a new trail, I always have just a heart for them, because it's people like that change the world.
It's true. I mean, fear can be paralyzing, and it takes courage to take that leap and to say yes and fight through that, because what's on the other side of that is can be magical, can be life changing, can be just fulfilling, really fulfilling. So I encourage people to take that leap.
Well, Donna, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. Again, Donna Brown has been our guest today from donnabrowncoaching.com, transforming lives one soul at a time. I love that line. That's fantastic. And she's the co-author of a book called Women Who Ignite. Where can people find a copy of this book, Donna?
Right on my website, donnabrowndesigns.com.
Very, very nice. Thank you again for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
And again, Donna Brown is the co-author of Women Who Ignite, and I see there it is right on the website, donnabrowndesigns.com. Thank you for listening to The John and Heidi Show.